Ready for my nap time?
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. My name is Huey Vu, and I'm happy to be your speaker today. Starting off, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you were already behind? Like everyone else got a map, and you're just out here making it up as you go? I lived inside that feeling for years. And I'm standing here today because I finally stopped letting it decide what was possible for me. I left college. That's a fancy way of saying I dropped out. Not in that I had a better idea way, but I left because I was lost. And I didn't have a really strong reason enough to stay. Between leaving and coming back, there were years that don't belong on a highlight reel. I drove for Uber, late nights, early mornings, dropping strangers off at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in the traffic at 1 a.m. in the morning, watching the departure boards light up, wondering where my life was headed. If you've ever sat alone somewhere questioning every decision you've made by yourself, I see you. Eventually, I came back right here to UT Arlington, and I finished, after so many years, a business degree from this very campus. Because the second attempt was easy. Because I finally had something I didn't have the first time around. I had a reason. And here's what those Uber rides gave me that I didn't expect. I started asking the people in my backseat real questions. How did you actually get here? What opened the doors for you that a resume never could? Executives, entrepreneurs, people who have built things, lost everything, and started over. All of them talking to some kid driving them to the airport. And what I kept hearing was, across completely different industries, different backgrounds, was this: the people who go furthest aren't always the most technically brilliant. Sometimes they're not always the smartest. They're the ones who make people feel understood, and that's genuine. That stopped me. Because every hard conversation I've ever had, every fresh start, every room I'd walked into with nothing but my ability to just listen and earn trust. I'd been building that skill this whole time. I just hadn't recognized it as one. And I found my way into technology sales with no computer science degree, no fancy industry connections, just a willingness to outwork and outlisten everyone in the room. I started at Zimperium, a leading mobile cybersecurity firm, selling solution most buyers had never heard of. Like, I didn't know anything about cybersecurity. Then I went on to Tyler Technologies, bringing software to local and state governments across the country, all 50 states, two very different markets, but the same lesson every time. Understand the problem deeply before you ever offer a solution. And that path brought me to Microsoft. Early on, I sat down in a meeting room, long table, sharp people, the kind of credentials that would fill a wall. And I had a moment just to myself. What am I doing here? Then the client started talking about real pressure, real problems, the gap between where their organization was and where they needed to be. And something clicked. This right here is what I know how to do. Not because of a program or a certification I didn't have, because I spent years learning how to actually listen to people, how to make someone feel and know that their problems matter too. And I wasn't the odd one out in that room. I was where I was meant to be. So here's what I want to leave everybody with. Your path not going to plan is not a disqualifier. The things that felt like detours, the years you'd rather skip, the version of yourself you're not proud of yet, those aren't working against you. They're working in you. The world doesn't need more people with perfect records. Those are good, don't get me wrong. It needs more people who've actually been through something and came out knowing how to show up for others because of it. That is not a soft skill. That is a whole game. That's life. You know, the guy who left his campus without a degree, who drove strangers to the airport at midnight wondering if he'd figure it out, what his parents would think, his family would think, who went from a cybersecurity startup to government technology, to working at the biggest tech company in the world, came back to stand on this stage. The road doesn't have to be straight to get you somewhere real. Find the thing you are uniquely built for, the thing only your exact story could have produced. Then pursue it like you have something to prove, because you do. Thank you. All right. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's probably my first time reading the new one.